Hey guys, welcome to a new video. I know a lot has changed with the mid-season update, so I think it'd be cool to catch up on what champions are performing the best right now in each role. I'm actually thinking I might do top 5s for every single role this patch, just like short 5-minute videos as a brief overview, so let me know what you think in the comments or leave a like on the video. We're going to start at the top of the map, and we're just going to work our way down, but there's a list of the champions and the timestamps to the roles in the description. So the number one top laner right now is Yasuo, especially at higher ranks where you get these like beast players, you know? That's kind of what I mean more. Like if you suck at him and you go play him, he's not that overpowered that you get a free win or anything. So it's not how it works, okay? Do not blame me if you start feeding. If you are good at him though, crit items are cheaper now, which means you get a quicker Infinity Edge plus easier to get the Zeal in the laner phase, which both actually are big helps to be honest. I would have also thought Death Dance, maybe the shift changes would help, but it's still mostly Phantom Dancer and Bloodthirster or Blade the Ruined King. Blade is really popular, but Bloodthirster actually has a high win rate this patch, so I guess it's the shield and the bigger crits as well. A lot of Yasuo players are also taking Fearless now, which is 18-0-12, but not the extra summoner spell cooldown reduction. It's the damage reduction as you enter a fight. As normal, he is destroying tanks, but he's also decent versus champions like Fiora, who are also very popular. The game is going a bit longer, so he's got more time to get going in that game and then either split push or team fight. The main thing is the build is cheaper, and Guardian Angel is better for him as well with the extra AD on it. It's easier lanes, kind of, and better matchups for him at the moment. He kind of fell out of favor a little bit recently, but now he is stronger, and in my opinion, he takes the #1 spot here for now. Now, this is one that is using Death Dance, and I'm pretty sure in the best way possible as well. Like, Fiora is really good versus tanks, but she also just outscales most carry matchups except Yasuo, really. That's why she's so good. Let's get into why she's better in the mid-season, though. So, Death Dance is better with double lifesteal. It's also just really strong at the moment. Basically, you heal back the bleed damage a lot easier with double lifesteal, so she's going Hydra into that, and it provides more than enough. Bloodthirster is still good. By the way, Death Dance just has a higher win rate on average. It's not used quite as much, but it's still really strong, and it gives you some cooldown reduction. Also, if you want to try something new, you should go for Trinity Force first item. Some high elo players are doing this at the moment, and the damage is insane. Main things anyway for Fiora, the item buffs have buffed her indirectly, basically. Her matchups are good, she bashes tanks, but Death Dance is insane with her ultimate. One thing we haven't really mentioned is that if you can survive a little bit longer with the Death Dance, which is great, you get more healing from your ultimate as well, which will heal back the bleed damage eventually. The new Guardian Angel, double lifesteal makes her so hard to play against, and overall she got a lot of little buffs that added together to make her better. Warwick is my one to watch out for this patch. They're more so a lower elo actually more than anything else. People don't really know how to play against him down there. Like, he does really high damage early, but also kind of crazy sustain eventually. The Sterix buff is really good for him with Trinity Force. This is the big reason why. Also, Guardian Angel is nice, even Death Dance maybe for more healing, but again, it's just some item buffs helping him out a bit more. So let's move on to jungle, the role that got the most direct changes, even though I actually think top meta has changed most actually, but the top one is going to be Sejuani. The new OP jungler, by far the best you can play honestly, and you should ban her every single game right now. That is how strong she is. Riot's whole deal with the reworks was to take away damage from tanks, but give them more tankiness and crowd control. They did the second parts pretty well with Sejuani, but I think they actually increased her damage as well. Remember, melee champions all got a buff alongside her in games, like they can apply her stun passive so they get more stuns in team fights. So Yasuo, Fiora for example, they are getting better because of Sejuani as well. Her passive is nuts, one of the biggest things. She takes no damage at the start of the fight now. She survives for so long. That is also meaning she gets more stuns because she's around so long, more damage soak, and being that tanky actually helps way more than you think it does. Main things really, she's this super tank crowd control machine that does damage early, really good at ganking, has a long range engage, can buy your team so much time in fights, and nobody even comes close to her. Next up, I've got two choices, different play styles for different players. So a more carry pick, especially for low elo, and something a bit different. The damage one is going to be Warwick. So by far one of the best carry junglers you can play at the moment, even though it's kind of weird because you build him pretty tanky, but he does so much damage. You're able to carry early, that's for sure. Then you have that engage and damage reduction and stuff for fights. And at lower elo, he is by far the best jungler you can actually play because you do everything. You can actually pick the right fights, you can catch people out, you can gank, you can jump in, you can farm, but you also kill stuff. Even at high elo, he's actually really good in 7.9 though. Farming got a lot easier with the Cinderhulk buffs, and overall, he's really solid. Ivern is the other option, a bit more supporty, but how is this guy not nerfed yet? I have no idea for real. He's so good. It's not just good, he is overpowered. It's not like in a I hate my life while you play against him kind of way, but more of a he wins without you realizing. He cheeses level 1 early, he puts your jungler behind. There's not really much you can do to stop that at all. He then ganks a ton, puts your lanes behind, and then gets defensive items and you can't kill him. Mid lane hasn't changed that much yet, but wait a few weeks and I think we're going to see more poke champions and also then more assassins come back, I bet you. Ahri is still the best this patch because she is so safe. A lot of damage is flying around right now, and Ahri can survive that. That is why her win rate is actually so high. If we ignore Ahri though, Kassadin is the next logical pick for number 1. Like, mid right now has these super popular picks, right? Orianna, Syndra, Zed. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're not always good picks. Kassadin has insane damage at really good matchups, and his lane phase is not that bad anymore if you trade properly. I see this a lot. Everyone says Kassadin's weak early, and if you sit back like a pussy, like obviously you're going to lose CS, you're going to lose the lane, but he does way more than you think. That's really the issue at the moment. He's so good with items, he's so good late game, and he gets them easier because his lane phase is better. It means he reaches that burst stage earlier into the game. Lichbane is ridiculous on him with his W. I've seen him one-shot AD carries this entire patch. It is so sad. Well, sad for the AD carry anyway. The main thing is his crazy damage and scaling into the game with a decent lane phase, so he actually reaches the items he needs. He can roam really well, he can team fight, he can assassinate. He's actually very well-rounded, except for the fact that he has to jump into fights, so timing is really important. Now, Ziggs is my number 2 this patch, so I could obviously play it safe, go with Orianna or Syndra or something, but I don't really see the point of that. Poke is better because we have more tanks and low health carries together in the same team, and I know it sounds weird that they're the two opposites, but it does make sense. Number 1, Ziggs can bypass those tanks in the front and poke the backline with bounces and ultimate, so it kind of makes the tank useless. Number 2, he can actually seriously demolish the carries with just a few hits. It is really high damage and burst. Anybody jumping onto him as well to counter him is at risk of getting burst down with a Q and R, and that is actually pretty stupid for poke champions. He also has really good wave clear, like he can hold his own when his team sucks. He can kind of stall the game out a little bit, get some farm. He can poke from range, he can burst people down, and he has this massive team fight impact, like 5,000 damage or more with an ultimate in a fight. The main thing really with Ziggs is his decent laning for a poke champion. Like, he can get himself ahead in the game, he has insanely high damage with items, he can poke people and burst them down, so he's good in every single game really. It's mainly the burst aspect actually at the moment. At least he's an insane teamfight champion, especially with like any kind of crowd control to hold them in his ultimate. Vel'Koz is my one to watch out for. A lot like Ziggs, actually, with his poke and burst combination, does both really well. He's not as popular, but he has shot up in win rate this patch. A lot of it is because he can destroy tanks with his true damage and still burst squishy targets down as well, so he's got like both covered. I think the game is moving more towards crowd control and teamfights, right? That is where mages like this actually shine. Moving on to AD carry, Caitlyn is going to be my number 1 this patch after the crit buffs. She is so good, it's actually unreal. Also, just in time for the new skin. Oh, what a surprise. Honestly, I bet you she gets a nerf with the next month after that skin comes out. Like, it always happens. Anyway, you can pick her in every single game. She's so hard to play against in lane. She's a decent mid game with the new items, and she's amazing in late game, as we already know. Like, her range is nuts. The big stuff really for her right now is the Zeal is cheaper, so you get it quicker into the lane phase. Infinity Edge is also cheaper, and rapid fire procs your warlords a lot more. I didn't really think 25% was going to make that much of a difference, but it really does in my opinion. Like, in a team fight, you will notice it. Runelands is actually also hitting harder. It's even better. It has a higher percentage AD on bolt, so crits hurt even more in it. Like, you can't really ask for much more in your build at the moment. It's so good. Main things really, you got buffed by the item changes, and she was already very strong, so now she's just kind of over the top. Your lane phase is super good. You crap on bad AD players who can't trade, and you can push in good ones so they can't fight you anyway, so it's actually really difficult to play against her. One of the reasons she doesn't seem too overpowered is because you can shut her down, you can gank her and stuff, but it's pretty hard to remove a good Caitlyn player for the game. She's always going to have some impact at least. Now, Lucian is still number 2 for me, honestly, but I always talk about him, and you know the deal, so let's look at someone else who is a very close second. Kog'Maw is going to be that one. Some people, especially at higher reload, would put him above Lucian right now in carry potential at least. Kog'Maw is so strong right now that even if you get demolished in the early lane phase, you get a few kills maybe in a random team fight, you get 2 items, and you will hard carry the game anyway. I really do mean hard carry, by the way, like 1v5 the whole game. You just need some protection maybe, and to press W. That is it. His win rate has shot up even more this patch, even though I actually thought his build got a bit of a nerf, to be honest, which was weird. Rage Raid first has become super popular though, and then that and Blade and Runes is the first 3 pretty much every single time. Then Frozen Mallet, Guardian Angel, Wit's End maybe if you want more damage. I don't think you really need more, and maybe Mercurial. The main things are your super insane synergy with supports, honestly. Like, I recognize the biggest reason why he's so good at the moment, but it's really frustrating to play against him because you can be ahead, but if he gets a few kills and he finally gets his items, he will actually make a massive comeback. Now, Vayne is my one to watch out for AD carry. I'll go into this more in a video tomorrow, I think, but she's so much better in 7.9. There are 5 big changes that have all really helped her in my opinion. So the Dorrance Shield start, not always needed, but it lets you play versus like Caitlyn and heavy poke and legit take no damage, so you can actually farm. Crit being cheaper means she can get her first few items. Tanks getting more armor. She has true damage, so obviously that's actually not that big of a problem. Shiv does way more damage again as well, actually a lot. And rapid fire cannon increases her warlord's heal output, plus shift damage as well. So all those things together make her so much better. Support is last, and honestly, like, the least changes in this role again, I think. Like, Riot hasn't hasn't really put that much effort into it. The support quests are nice, but they didn't really change anything. Lulu is still number 1, in my opinion, best at keeping people alive and buffing her AD carry like crazy, but she's starting to fall off a bit. Now, I can't tell if this is because bad people pick her thinking free win, because she's banned so much so people are out of practice, or because she's actually getting worse. Either way though, she is still very solid. She does some good damage early, and she's like the master of keeping people alive that really should be dead. Sensor is still nuts, and the items kind of just buff her kit over the top. I think that's a really big part of it. Like, you're gonna have to watch out for these aggressive supports making a comeback though. She is still the best support though at the moment. She can play more aggressive in the lane phase to give her AD some breathing room, but ultimately it gives her AD so much more damage to play with. Now, Thresh is the biggest change here though. Actually, he's one of the most popular, but he's now actually got a really high win rate in 7.9. It's a lot about the lane phase actually. Like, he's coming back and shutting down a lot of these spell thief users like Zyra, Lux, Rakan and stuff like that. Bond of Stone is really good on him as well. Your team ends up healing for a lot over the course of the game because you have so many ways to proc it. He's actually still going Targons as well, so a little buff to that actually must have helped more than anybody realized. It's mostly Ruby Sidestone actually. Lock it and Face of the Mountain we're seeing Rush, not Redemption anymore, interestingly. His kit really is overloaded with crowd control and utility though, like Hook, Flay, Shield, Lantern, Ultimate. All of them can be used aggressively and defensively, and there are so many slows and crap in it, so whenever the meta suits him, he always shoots up as super good. It does seem to be a reaction to other squishy supports coming back who he can hook over and over and get a lot of kills in the lane phase. He really can snowball a game. He can be more aggressive, but he still has a lot of shields and stuff to protect his team and AD carry. So Bard's new buffs to his passive are insane, like absolutely nuts. In a 45-minute game the other day I played, I had 15 kills on Lucian. I was 6 items. I actually was really fed, and my Bard only did 5,000 less damage than me. That was second in the entire game, by the way. He's doing absolutely crazy damage right now. He could be more aggressive in the lane phase, and I think there's a lot of bad Bard players out there, but a good one is really strong at the moment. So that wraps up my look at the new best champions you can play. Feel free to stick around and like the video if you did. You can check out some other videos on screen, but for now, let's go to the robots.